Hey guys, Bryan Buhr with Berkshire Hathaway here with another seller tip. And today I want to talk about appraisals, specifically low appraisals. For sellers, low appraisals can be a really big pain and really frustrating because, hey, if someone wants to buy your house for a certain amount, why can't I sell it to them? So here, real quick, is just kind of how appraisals work. So an appraiser is going to look at similar properties to yours and see what they've actually been selling for. That's kind of the way that a bank feels comfortable loaning money on a specific house. So generally they look back about 6 months. In special cases, they can look back farther. But here I kind of have a kindergarten grade graph of a specific property. Pretend this is like a really cookie cutter house in Fargo. So pretend there's a lot of very good comparables that we can pull from. So this is kind of an indication of our market over the last couple of years. You know, slowly going up, nothing crazy, but really strong and steady. And then all of a sudden we got this really big jump here this spring. So what happens? So say I sell a house in July. Well, the appraiser goes back and he looks at similar houses, and it's really easy to find stuff close, you know, to justify the sale price. Say I sell this same house in January of 2020. We go back 6 months, you know, we're able to find enough sales to kind of justify the price. Now all of a sudden we have this really big jump in a really short amount of time. And that is what's happening right now in certain price ranges. Basically, there's less properties to choose from in certain price ranges. On top of that, we have really low interest rates, so it makes people more qualified and more anxious to buy. And all of a sudden it drives these prices up really fast. So now, here when I go back 6 months and I'm looking at other sales, well, I'm seeing sales here, you know, that doesn't make a bank feel good. So what can you do about it? Well, first thing is to be really proactive. So it's no surprise in certain price ranges that these properties are selling quick and they're selling higher than what they normally would. A lot of them are having multiple offers. It would really behoove a seller to look at each offer beyond just what the sale price is and see how qualified that buyer is, what percentage of down payment they have, stuff like that. That kind of will help you solve appraisal issues. The more down payment a buyer can put down, the more likely that they would have the funds to cover an appraisal if it comes in short. Because here's the thing, if an appraisal comes in short, that really doesn't mean that the property is not worth what the buyer wants to buy it for. What it means is that when this appraiser is looking back 6 months, they're just not finding the comparable sales to really justify the price. So like I said, if you're in a situation where you're probably gonna get a low appraisal, you probably had multiple offers, so there's a lot of things you could do ahead of time. I mean, I've even had people write into the contract, you know, if the appraisal is short, the buyer is willing to come up with extra down payment, you know, up to so many $1,000s. It just really solves a lot of headaches addressing these things up front, because what ends up happening is this seller, you know, has their eye on a house, maybe even has a contract on another house, and all of a sudden we get a low appraisal, and now we're killing 2 or 3 deals, and we have 2 or 3 or 4 families all packed, ready to go, and all of a sudden we're trying to figure out this very first one, because it generally is the very first one in the chain, because that's the price point where things are really tight. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, if you need an evaluation of your property, if you want to know if your property is one that might have issues like this, feel free to give me a call. The number is 218-850-2004. Thanks.